Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. Everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take a resonate, leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. It's not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. And it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. All are welcome on this channel and all contributions are highly appreciated. Never mind their instruction. All right, the message is never mind their instruction. There's someone who wants to tell you how to do your job, do your hobby. There's someone who wants to try to control you, collective. Spirit is saying never mind their instruction. They had me saying that. Never mind their instruction. Continue staying focused on whatever you do, whether it's your career, whether it's a job, a hobby. You know, you could do tarot, you could throw cards for a living, whatever it is. There's someone who wants to give you instruction, tell you how to do something, okay? Tell them you do it your way. Tell them to mind their business, okay? Tell them January, February, March, their way out. I haven't said that. It's in a while. Or heard that January, February, March your way out. Tell them to mind their business. There's somebody who wants to control you. They want you under their thumb. They want to give you advice. You know, they want to come marching in with their bright ideas. I know how you should do it. I know how you should do it. You know, like, the Eight of Pentacles, represents working hard. I just want to let you know, I saw your video and I want to let you know what the card means. Tell them to mind their business. Tell them to mind their business. I'm just using that as an example, you could be someone, maybe you're a wonderful cook or a chef, okay? You've been doing this for a while. They want to come and give you the recipe to your meal. They want to come tell you how to cook in your kitchen. Tell them to mind their business, collective. Who is this? They're studying you, collective. Once again, collective, we have someone in the business of minding the collective's business. Someone wants to control you. Someone wants to be all up in your mix. They want to give you directions. They want you to take instructions from them, Spirit is saying. But you're going to tell them, no, thank you. No. Thanks, but no thanks. Don't need it today. Really don't want to hear it either. People need to just understand, that people have free will and folks are going to do what they want to do. And if a person says, back up, I don't want your instruction, then just do that. Back up. Because, sometimes people need to learn and grow on their own. And how would people learn and grow if there's someone always there, hey, you're not supposed to do that like that. You're not supposed to, you're making it your own, but you could be someone, who does divination, and maybe someone is watching your videos. Maybe they're critiquing you because you don't move like they move. Tell them to mind their business. Tell them, or they can take the stick here and sit down and just mind their business. Tell them to leave you alone, collective, okay? Somebody could want to tell you how to raise your children. There's someone want to critique, you shouldn't let them do this. You shouldn't let them eat that. You shouldn't let them. Tell them to mind their business. Somebody might want to just give you instructions in the bedroom with your spouse. These people are a little too nosy, collective. You gotta have to put them in their place. You're gonna have to let them know who run it. Who run it? You gotta let them know who run it. Tell them they cannot run your life for you, okay? You are living a life that you are desiring. What's best for you. And what's for you may not be for them, and that's something that's true pertaining to all things, okay? They need to let it be. You can have, this could be a neighbor, okay? This could be maybe someone on the job, want to come here, let me talk to you. I just want to tell you. You like, look, I don't want to hear it. I'm busy making all these pentacles. I'm busy getting to the bag. I'm minding my business. I do not care to hear any gossip today. So this could be someone who's a chatty patty as well, collective. Someone who likes to gossip. Maybe they're trying to pull you over in church or at work, or this could be in your neighborhood. This could be in the family. Maybe there's an aunt or uncle or relative who wants to, I just want to let you know that you should really, don't feed them cereal. Don't put that in that baby bottle, This person is overbearing with their judgment and instruction. It's okay to get advice from people, but Spirit is saying this person is overbearing. They want you to like check in with them whenever you want to make a change in your life. Like if you want to move, if you're dating somebody new, they want you to call them. If you're doing something with your children, they want you to call them and get their opinion. They want you to notify them and get their opinion, and they're overbearing with it, with the instruction. It's just too much. They're overextending themselves into your business. They are in the business of minding your business. So much so, if you choose to listen to these people or this person, this could be a group of people gossiping and, being chatty patties, about you and what you have going on. And I don't know why they went and bought that new car, that kind of energy, just all up in your mix. And I don't know how they going to pay for that. That's none of your business. And so Spirit is saying for you to, you possibly have to check this person, and the next time they offer advice, just let them know you don't want it. Because if you choose to allow them to make you feel like you're obligated to listen to them, it will put you in the energy of feeling binded and in the energy of feeling like you are stuck, like you're in a trance or like they've got some kind of hypnosis over you. So Spirit is saying, do not allow this person to intrigue you to feel as if you're not able and capable to run your own life, okay? Yeah, but they want to give you instruction, And if you are on social media, they could be watching your videos, maybe watching, seeing how many likes you have, subscribes, followers, critiquing you, and then going back and gossiping about you. This could be people you don't deal with anymore either, also. They could be wanting to give you instruction, They could be rubbing their hands together. Ooh, I wish I was talking to the collective. I would give them direction. Just diabolical, Meanwhile, you are, grateful and thankful and you're living your life, male or female. You're doing your one, too. You're doing your thing. You're surrounded with new energy that is not all up in your business. Okay. Yeah, this person is very overbearing, Spirit is saying, to the point it's unhealthy. We understand that parents give advice and maybe the matriarch of the family give advice, but when you're overbearing with it, when you're like doing too much, when you're doing too much and you're consistent and constant, you want to be in on everything. Nah, sorry to say, but when people, no, I'm not sorry to say. Sorry, not sorry. When people are adults, you can't be in on everything. Okay, you gotta let grown folk be grown folk. Okay. All right. This could be even be angering this person so much they could be in their emotions because they don't have access to you. I'm picking up some of these people do have access to you and some of them don't. So this could be two different storylines here. There are people watching you, collective, who want to control you. They want to that you are no longer dealing with, and they desire to have access to you so much that it's causing them to be in a pity party or woe is me. They're very sad about it. They are becoming stressed. They are feeling like they're tied up and stuck to a situation of not being able to control you. Maybe this is someone that maybe you once were in contact with, and maybe you did take advice from them. But since you're not dealing with them, they can't even make conversation to, say, no, put more butter. No, put a tablespoon of sugar. They can't, they're not even near you to give this advice. And it's eating them alive. Okay. And meanwhile, you're just living your life, living your life, giving it all that you got, enjoying yourself, and they don't like it. And there's a portion of people who are, around you who you could be still dealing with, who could be, like I said, gossiping and chatting behind your back, or gathering with other people, possibly over drinks, watching you be successful at something. This could be your career. This could be you just being you. People envy contentment as well. People don't like when you're peaceful. People don't like when you speak your mind. People don't like collective when they can't control you or they can't be attached to you and get in your business and know what you're doing. That bothers people. There is a portion of people in this world that really truly disturbs. So this person could be gathering, and keying with other people, but they're keeping the topic on you so much so that they're starting to be looked at a little funny. People are wondering like, why are you so concerned with the collective? The collective ain't even you ain't seen them in like a month or two. They don't even come around no more. The collective somewhere, building, creating, enjoying life. Why are we always talking about the collective? Can I have another glass of wine, please? People are wondering, people are curious, they're starting to come off as crazy, and people could also want to get away from this person. Okay, they could be discussing you so much and what you have going on in your life currently. This could be at work. You may notice a coworker, with their lunch bag or their sandwich and their yogurt, and um, there's three people sitting at the table every day, then you may notice they're sitting by themselves. That's because people want to get away. They don't want to hear it. They're tired of hearing it. So, the Six of Swords here, this is calmer waters. This is peace. And so you may notice, like Brad is sitting by himself. No point intended if there's a Brad on here, or Monica's sitting by herself. Why is the coworker sitting? Because they're tired of hearing it. They like, look, this is break time. This is not let's overstress over the collective time. You know, and then here you are, having more options, and this is disturbing this person. They see you, they know you have worked hard, so hard that it has put you in a position. You have earned this opportunity of having options in your life. You could be receiving a lots of victory and success. I don't care if you work at McDonald's. You could be a franchise owner. Or an area manager. It could lead to success. Just because you start off as a cashier doesn't mean it's the end all be all. You may have started off, wiping tables and maybe, may I help you? But now you're the manager, maybe, or now you're a franchise owner. You got two or three stores that you're running, and it has people shocked and just with their mouths open, like, wow, I can't believe it. Um, you know, they own their own restaurant. They're running a show. People calling you looking for work because you're doing the hiring. You're running the show. And, they're just wishing that they could be in your shoes or control you. They want to tell you what to do. And it's coming through so clearly, you know. This person clearly needs to do some reflecting. They need to go within and figure themselves out and figure their life out of why is it that they want to control someone else. Instead, they should focus on themselves so that they don't miss out on their own opportunities. It makes this person very upset because they're trying to figure out collective. How is it and why is it? I'm hearing how and why. How is it that the collective gets the opportunity to get that promotion? How is it that the collective gets a chance to get that car, to get that house? How is it that the collective's in that loving relationship? So they feel like it's not fair. It's like an infantile, childish behavior. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. How a child would pout, like cry, cross their arms and start crying, like, it's not fair. It's just not right. And that's how they feel, like it's not right. How is it that they are experiencing all this bliss and happiness? It's because the collective is focused on themselves and they're not in anyone else's business. Okay. And so this is what this is peeing this person off, But the more that you continue to ignore them, even if these are people that you are in contact with, I'm picking up that you rarely visit these people. You may call to check on them. You may, which is cool. I don't blame you. You may be one of them people, twice a year you call to come by. I'll just call to see how you're doing. All right, I'll be over there. And if you go visit in 40 minutes to an hour, you out of there. Okay, because you know what kind of energy it is, and this could be someone elderly, more seasoned. You don't want to be disrespectful. So, 40 minutes to an hour, I'm out. I'm not staying. I know what this visit is about. They got some issue going on, but I'm not going to disrespect them. They're up in age, and we're going to give them some respect. It could be that kind of situation as well. So, yeah, some of these people you are in contact with, and some of them you aren't. And the ones that who are watching, who are in contact, you have made the executive decision, which is very wise, to seldomly and very rarely visit or entertain the presence of this person or these group of people, because it's obvious that they are upset and angry because you have found a way to provide for yourself. You've created security. You and source, you and the divine, has opened an opportunity. The trumpet has sounded, you answered the call, you put in the work, it's out here clearly. You've been persistent, and your intentions were pure. And so now that you're reaping the harvest, it's a problem. And so you've made the right decision. You know, you will not be loved any less by the divine because you choose not to engage with someone who is just unhealthy for your well being. Source does not want you uh, asserting yourself around people who are jealous of you or unhappy folks. It's not written nowhere for you to sacrifice your happiness or your well being for that. Okay. You may even receive information of this person getting into a argument, a disagreement, some kind of spat that I'm hearing almost tried to turn into a confrontation. This person is chatting, like I said, about you so much that it's causing people to want to run away from them, not be around them, okay? Or people try to change the subject. You may hear of this person getting into some kind of disagreement or argument, and you're going to hear that it was over you, okay? Someone may tell you that, and it's going to really trip you out to the point you'll be laughing about it. It's not nothing that's going to make you sad. You're going to laugh about it. You're going to laugh about it, you know. And you may choose, to finally put it in to even interact with this person overall. Because you may say to yourself, well, you know what? If it's that serious that this person does not want me to be happy and they choose to try to slander me behind my back, it's best I don't even call or check on them. It's best I love them from a distance forever. So you may choose to cut ties. You may choose that, because there's something about this confrontation. Yeah, something about an argument leading to a confrontation. And it's going to be talked about so much. And there's some words and things that are going to be exchanged. And it's going to be the signal. It's going to be your light's going to flicker like, okay, time to leave that alone. Time to back it up. Okay. And this is really a decision. It's something you have been pondering on possibly for a while. You've been thinking about it, it's crossed your mind. Like, maybe I should just leave this person alone. But like I said, this person might be elderly. You may have been in a position trying to give them a chance, because they're up in age. It's like an older aunt or auntie in the family. You're like, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to curse them out. But you know what? I'm going to just sever ties because if this ninja is arguing over me to the point they're about to get into an altercation, you're going to make the choice to leave it be. So, which is good for you, okay? Good for you. And so here you are, more harmony, more progress, steady moving forward constantly, more bliss, creating a family of your own. And so the more you move forward, there's more progress. And so Spirit is saying the best thing you could ever do is sever ties with any person, that that is jealous, that is envious, They don't have your best interest at heart. There's no conversation needed. Um, there's not even no need to do any of your rare visits at this point. As I said, you possibly could go and see this person maybe twice a year or call them to see how they're doing, or I don't know, send them a care package or whatever. But you end that. Well, they're going to end it. They're going to end it. Okay. And you will feel very peaceful. You're going to be just fine. Spirit is saying for you to relax, rejuvenate, and surrender what's out of your control. This gossip, this slander, All this unwarranted energy that has been going on behind your back has created a lot of noise and commotion, and so it's time for you to relax and rejuvenate and move on forward, to a calmer, more peaceful, tranquil situation, and focus on the good and the prosperity in your life, the good things that are happening for you, things you want to build, things you want to create, not the negative. No more of giving that negative energy any of your attention. Yeah, yeah. Walking away from this energy is the greatest thing you could ever do for yourself. It's like a gift that you have chosen to give to yourself, and it's the greatest gift you have ever given yourself. It's just walking away. Because it looks like this person or these people were not going to let up on this idea of wanting to be an authority of your life, wanting control, wanting to dictate and control who you date, how you raise your children, where you live, where you work, should you take that job, how you cook, and don't use no paprika, use salt, and that kind of energy. Okay. And also, it'll give this person time to focus on themselves. Instead of being so invested in you, collective, they can focus on themselves, And you can sit on your throne and sit in your abundance and your prosperity and say, well, I tried, I don't know what's wrong with them. Oh, well, you know. They can't say you didn't try. They can't say you just cut them off. You tried to give them a chance, by lessening your, communication with them, but it just didn't work. And sometimes you have to do that, you'll be put in those positions where you have to make that executive decision to let some people go. I know I talk about that a lot on my channel, but it comes a time sometimes in life you got to do what you got to do. No one comes in our life to stay forever. So if you got to use those shears, use those shears, because you may have planting and growing on your mind and multiplying, and those people who are not for that, you must remove them, or remove yourself, don't remove them. You can just simply remove yourself. That's easier, so you have to honor the gift of separation. Let it flow and let it go and just let it be. Okay. Yeah, chariot energy. You're going to hear about this person getting into an argument, a heated argument, and it's going to be over you. Someone is going to ask them, as I mentioned earlier, why are you so invested in the collective? You cannot control them. They're a grown person. They do not deal with you that often. What is the problem? And it's going to lead to a potential altercation. So maybe like a almost fight. Maybe someone gets in between them, break it up, stop it from happening. But it's just too much. And I believe at that point you're going to say like, look, it's too much. And number 7, which is at the top of this chariot here, represents assessment. And reflection. So I see you going into reflection and assessment of this foolishness. Like, I'm gonna love you from a distance. This is too much. This is too much. Okay. Now I'm hearing miss me with that. Okay. You could be saying miss me with that. Okay. Maybe they're gonna try to explain to you, oh, it wasn't like that. And you're gonna be like, I heard it all. Oh, it wasn't like that. But see, you know. It's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself, or if you got to get froggy, stand your ground. But it makes no sense, when you get to a certain point in your life, you should come to the grips with not wanting to be confrontational or toxic, on a daily basis. And this is someone who chose to wake up on a daily basis and just be toxic, just be wanting to gossip, want to find something, a chatty patty, something just to latch on to speak about, other than focusing on themselves. But I see you moving forward and deciding to just love this person from a distance and lead them where they are, so you can continue to be great. This concludes the read. Later.